is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill.
So yes, it does appear Travis Scott is finally dropping Utopia in June. And this is coming off of straight from an interview that the Epic Records CEO Sylvia Rhone did. She was given the Billboard Women in Music's 2023 Executive of the Year Award. And in this interview, she just kind of just talks about how she came up, her taking this role as Epic CEO, and then randomly drops, well, she gets asked what is she proud of as the Epic CEO, and then also what's there to look forward to, and then she just randomly drops Travis's project is expected to come out in June. Outside of that, there wasn't anything else about Travis Scott. I feel like when CEOs drop these types of things, or just like people that aren't necessarily in the camp of Travis Scott, but clearly have a lot of like organizational overseeing because he's part of Epic Records, I think it is legitimate, but I'm always just wondering, like, are they doing this to fuel the hype, or is it just a slip up that they say these things? Something else that I remember was Tyler, the creator for Igor, Def Jam released their financials or something like that, and then it basically said Igor was due out in like whenever it was due, and this was like 4 months in advance. A month later, Tyler did his rollout for Igor. But again, I'm like, are these people like just hyping it, or is it just like they're like so high up, they're like, oh, it's not a big deal, I'm just saying these things because like this is my day-to-day job. I don't know, but basically, we can expect Travis to drop in June. I mean, Travis also has teased it himself prior to this in the past, like, week or two. Twice he did this. Once was at his show for All-Star Weekend this past weekend in Las Vegas, where at the show he said, basically he was, like, hyping all of his Cactus Jack members, saying that they're all dropping, and then once they all drop, then he's going to be dropping Utopia. So that's Don Toliver, Chase B, Sheck Wes, and Fago. And apparently the rumor is that, so Don Toliver just dropped February, Chase B is dropping in March, Sheck Wes in April, and Fago in May. And then that would line up Travis Scott for June. And I think they're just trying to sweep, like Cactus Jack Records is trying to sweep like this whole first half of the year. And honestly, I think it's a really great play from Travis Scott. He knows there's so much hype around Utopia. Everyone's now waiting for all of these projects to drop. And if they're waiting for them to drop, then they're going to be listening to them. So honestly, that was, I thought, a great move by Travis Scott to do this. And even right after he did this, all the artists started teasing the project. So it was kind of like they were waiting for him to give him the go-ahead to be like, all right, you guys can like tease the projects now. And like Chase B tweeted out the title of his first album that is dropping. And then Fago confirmed that it's an EP, not a deluxe album. So yeah, it seems like this is all legitimate and kind of lines up to June. That was the first one. The second one was at his softball game that he holds every year. People have probably seen this clip. I'll put it in here. So, I mean, that's another piece of detail, little nugget. And then the fan theory that I love, and I think I love a good fan theory. Like, I buy into them all the time. But with this theory, which all theories that I do believe, kind of makes sense. So basically, people are saying that it's going to be dropping June 23rd because on the Escape Plan Mafia singles that he released back in 2021, it was November 2021, on the album art itself, it says June 23rd, I think like 1963 or something. I think what was planned was he was going to be dropping Utopia in June 2022. Unfortunately, the Astroworld incident took place, and I think he had to do a lot of just recovery from his image, and he had to kind of lay low for a bit. Funny enough, though, he had Billboards pop up in April of 2022, like 2 months before what was originally supposed to be the Utopia drop, come up and just like say, where's Utopia, like turn around, all this other stuff. And it seemed kind of random because it was kind of in the middle of him being very quiet and kind of like getting his image back. I think that his team had purchased these billboards in Coachella in advance for this whole rollout. And I think what happened is they couldn't like get their money back for this. So I think they were just like, okay, let's just roll with it and just like create hype, like even if it doesn't lead to anything. So I don't know, I think like potentially it was supposed to drop June 2022 and now it's going to be dropping June 2023. Then as far as the sound with this project, I'm really hoping it's that dark, experimental, psychedelic sound that Travis has. Really psychedelic with Astroworld and dark and kind of gritty on Rodeo. I really hope that's the sound he goes for. And from what I've heard of like the leaks and the snippets, think it's going to be like this. And the song Lost Forever featuring James Blake and West Side Gun is dope. And if that's the sound with all of this album, it's going to be absolutely insane. As far as the features, who I think will be on there, if I were to guess, I would say Kid Cudi, Baby Keem, and then Pharrell. I know there was the song that he did with Pharrell that was actually like a Pharrell song. And then there was also a picture of him in the studio with Pharrell and Tyler, the Creator, who that would be crazy if Tyler was on the album. I can't imagine the sound of that, but that'd be kind of cool, I guess. Don Toliver, Sheck West. I just think like those are the big guys of Cactus Jack. I could see Rosalia on here, and I could see SZA on here. There's been features with both of them in the past, so features I want, if I were to just say like, all right, these are the features that I want. First is Young Thug. Although he's locked up, I don't know, get like one of those Kodak recordings that ASAP got for testing or something, or just get some like old recording. But anytime Travis Scott and Young Thug are on a track, it is so dope. And I'm so surprised they haven't done, I mean, they can't anymore, but if Young Thug gets out, they got to do like a collab album. It would be like the best collab album of the past 10 years. And then Drake, I want to see, I think whenever they're on track together, it's just the banger. Frank Ocean, be sick. Kendrick Lamar, both of those guys, Frank and Kendrick, had dope songs with Travis that they featured on. I think it'd be cool to have Kodak. I feel like he's kind of making a comeback right now. Just think Kodak would sound really great on Travis Scott production. And then Bryson Tiller, I think like he's got that dark kind of like psychedelic sound and he would pair really well with Travis. With Utopia, clearly I'm extremely excited. I wouldn't have made this video if I wasn't. But I do think there's a lot of pressure for Travis to deliver. And even just talking with people, just like friends and stuff, everyone's saying they think that Travis has already peaked. And his peak was Astroworld. And from here, it's a downward trajectory. And like, I see what they're saying. Travis, like in 2018, 2019, he was killing it. He had like a Fortnite concert. His merch would sell out within minutes. He had a McDonald's collab. Like anything he hopped on was insane. But I don't know. I still think he hasn't reached his potential. And I think like he's slowly been going into this commercial sound. But I think if he retracts back to that sound from Rodeo and Days Before Rodeo, the kind of gritty sound, I think like if he dives into that a bit more, I think he has so much more potential. But again, that's where the pressure comes in. I think this project could be a make or break for Travis. Not a break, but like there's been artists in the past that they have their great album and then the next one kind of breaks it off for them. Like Drake with Views kind of feels that way. He kind of was peaking around 2015 with If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, and then dropped Views, and then he kind of lost all of his momentum. He's still huge, but like before that, he was regarded as like one of the best artists. And I guess like still he is, but I don't know. It's just not the same. And I think Travis Scott, like that's kind of the position he's in right now. So we'll see. And I think like topping Astroworld is going to be very tough. But again, he hasn't dropped a bad project yet. So who knows? But yeah, let me know what you think. Who do you think is going to be featured? Do you think this is coming out in June? Do you think it's going to be topping Astroworld? Do you think Travis has already seen his peak? Or do you think he has a lot more potential to go? Let me know. All right. Peace.